Well, Mark, I gotta be honest with you, buddy. I was doing my 20 approaches this week, and one of them was a bus station skank.
Welcome to the Unapologetic Man Podcast, the only podcast that's all about self-improvement, confidence, success, women, and being a man without making any apologies for it.
What is up, gentlemen? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the UMP. I really do appreciate you. If you've been listening for a long time, you know what to do, brother. Smack yourself on the ass so hard you die of starvation before you stop sliding. If this is your first time listening, yes, I am extremely random. And yes, I'm extremely happy that you tuned into this podcast, because today we are going to talk about the number one reasons you fucking jackasses aren't getting success with women. And some of you may not like what I'm about to say, but for the rest of you, this may be the final kick in the ass you need to finally get good with girls once and for all. Because I'm going to be honest with you. You know, a lot of dating coaches aren't honest with you. They're simply like, yo, purchase my PDF, read it from home, plan out your entire conversation in your head, have it literally blueprinted, then go out and do it on one girl. That's right. Just the first girl you see, she's going to jump into the air and slide right onto your dick. But I'm the one guy who's going to tell you how it actually works, because this is reality. And that's the difference between me and some pickup artist coaches, some dating coaches, is I give it to you straight. I tell you how hard it's going to be. I tell you how long it's actually going to take. And I'm going to tell you today why a lot of you guys are struggling to actually get good with girls, why you're not dating the kinds of girls you want, why you don't have this skill set wrapped up, and you haven't yet added it to your repertoire of being a masculine, attractive man. Before I jump into the content, I want to give a shout out real quick to my client, Mark S. I'm not going to say his last name, but he has the same initials as me, MS. Mark, if you're listening, what is up, my friend? That little intro I did in the beginning was my imitation of Mark during one of our coaching sessions the other day. And dude, I haven't laughed that hard in so long, dude. Bus station skank, dude. I almost spit my water out while he was talking. That guy cracks me up every time. And he tells me he sends my podcast to his brother. So send this one over to your brother. Mark's brother. Mark is the funniest dude. He's from the South, and that accent alone, dude, does it for all of us. And that's what I love about the coaching calls. We got English chaps in there. We got dudes from Australia. We got dudes from all over the United States, including the South, the North, New York, California. We got dudes from Canada. I got a guy from Amsterdam in the program right now. We get guys from Germany. I mean, all over the world. It's absolutely spectacular. And as I always say, man, I got tons and tons of love for my boys. It's just such an awesome thing to see all these guys coming together to help each other get good with girls. And what do? Okay, what do they do for each other that makes them successful? They approach girls. And here's the point of this entire episode. Brother, if you want to get good with girls, you have to speak to girls. That's right. You need to get into interaction after goddamn interaction to get that stank off of you, that uncomfortable nerd mannerism, low value body language, seeking rapport tonality out of your entire existence. And how do you do that? Well, we approach it from many different ways. One of them is teaching you the skill set. Now, a lot of you guys have had tons of information. That's why I said at the top of the show, a lot of dating coaches will just sell you information, right? A PDF, an ebook, a course with a bunch of videos. And I've done that myself, and it does have value. But as you're taking care of that, there's also a place for implementation. And that, I think, is the problem with many programs, is they're going to give you the information and say, hey, bro, go out and practice it. But there's no accountability there. And they don't tell you how to practice it. And more specifically, how to practice it without getting rejected, which is what I do for my clients, is we ease into it like an old man into a warm bath. We systematically ramp up the social pressure. We systematically use techniques that make her attracted. And only when she's attracted do we try to go for the phone number. So we go in very innocently. We don't expect anything. In fact, we give good energy, as I always talk about, right? Be a go-giver. Go give her good energy, a good compliment, a good conversation. Then as she gets attracted, then we start flirting with her. But the point of this entire episode is this, is you have to go out and approach girls. How many girls? 20 per week. Okay, and that's what I have my guys do in the coaching program. They do 20 per week over 12 weeks, which amounts to roughly 250 girls. Now, that also begs the question for most guys, How many girls does it take to get comfortable? Okay, I've been doing this for a long time. I've taught thousands of guys, maybe even tens of thousands if I were to sit down and really think about it. But I've taught a shit ton of guys. So you can be sure that I am an absolute authority on these kinds of topics. How many girls does it typically take before we reach a certain level of mastery? Okay, so obviously mastery is a spectrum. You have black belt masters who are like girl magnets. Anywhere they go, they attract chicks. Simply talking to a girl, the girl gets attracted to them. That's kind of like what I call the black belt level of mastery. But we have other levels of mastery too. Brown belt, purple belt, blue belt, back down to white belt. Now it really depends on what the guy's skill set is, and perhaps most importantly, what his social intelligence is, his ability to take social cues, to read people, and to be somewhat charismatic for me to be able to tell him exactly how many girls he must approach before he gets the stank off of him. And when I say stank, it's kind of like the beta stank. It's like this stinkiness that beta cucks have on them that make them essentially unattractive to women. And it's not like literally a stinkiness. It's the mannerisms. It's the way you behave. It's the way you handle yourself that communicates, or I should say sub-communicates, your belief systems about yourself and shows the girl that you're low value. So the way the stank gets off is, once again, approach. Get into conversations, get used to speaking to girls so that you're simply comfortable doing it. Because the more comfortable you are speaking to the girl, the higher your value is perceived by her, especially really hot girls. Because a guy who's used to being listened to, a guy who's used to being around hot girls, a guy who believes in himself to the point where her opinion of him actually doesn't matter to him is going to be very comfortable in front of her. Well, how do you get comfortable in front of her? By talking to girls. There's very few ways to hack the system. There's very few ways to take the shortcut up the mountain. Now, obviously, I believe that my program uses every goddamn hack there is possible to humanity that I've been able to discover. It is the absolute shortcut up the mountain, but make no mistake, my dudes still have to go out and do the work. That's why I tell my guys all the time, it's cool that you hired me. I'm glad that you made that commitment. And you're like 90% there, honestly. But to get up to that final point of the mountain, you don't just give me the money and wake up with a girl on your dick. You need to do the work. We're going to do NLP, which is going to reprogram your brain, which are the hacks to make you way less afraid of approaching girls. It gives you a sense of value where you're internally validated. You don't really give a shit what she thinks. And it makes you unbelievably confident and masculine, but you need to go implement. So it's a twofold system. Actually, it's a threefold system. The first one is NLP, reprogram the brain, remove beliefs, remove traumas, install new ones, make you feel like a champion that any girl would be stoked to be with, as I've been speaking about over the last few weeks. The next thing is the skill set, what to talk about, how to continue a conversation, how to say things that gets her attracted, how to flip attraction hot switches in her head. And then the third thing is implementation. Go out and fucking do it. And do it in a way where you're not getting rejected, where you're not having bad experiences. But I want literally like the first 100 to be good. How do we make them good? Well, that's the secret that I teach my boys. And we sidestep rejection. We completely bypass it so that you can practice in a very safe space. I actually hate that term, safe space, because it's like the pussies use that, right? The woke community. I'm triggered. I need my safe space. Get fucking real, dude. Grow a pair. Jesus, wouldn't even believe this. Anyway, it's a safe way to approach without being rejected. Then once you get, and here's the number you're looking for, most guys, it's about 100 girls. Okay, most guys, it takes about 100 girls before they're comfortable, before the stank is starting to get off of them, and they reach, let's say, like a blue belt level. Like in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a blue belt is like an advanced beginner. Once you reach the blue belt level in pickup, in my program, you're starting to yank numbers, you're starting to get dates off a cold approach, you're doing pretty good. Now we go up to like 150 girls. For most guys, that's about their purple belt, which is like intermediate or advanced intermediate, where you're doing pretty good, you're yanking numbers pretty consistently. Girls are attracted to you a lot of the time, and now you're starting to get choice. We go up to 200 girls. That's when guys are really starting to get chased by them. They're starting to be so comfortable. They are secure enough to throw the conversational burden in her lap. They can think on their feet way more quickly. the techniques that I teach them come to them very quickly, and they can stack one on top of another and chain them together, where it's just like attraction hot switch after attraction hot switch after attraction trigger to make her super attracted to them. Then once they get to about 250, dude, it's like they're girl magnets. I'd say most guys get to about, I don't know, advanced purple belt, brown belt. Okay, then it's their job to continue practicing. Now you get to 500. Okay, at that point, you're a very good brown belt. And obviously, girls are attracted to you without you even really trying. And usually around 500 girls, I'd say conscious application becomes unconscious flow. And what I mean by that is where you were thinking about, what do I say? How do I behave? Oh, don't forget about my tonality. Don't supplicate to her. Don't kiss her ass. What's that frame control reversal again? Once you get, I'd say to, and it's different for every guy, okay? So don't hold me to this, but usually around like 500, it's just who you are, man. Like you embody that shit. Get to 1,000, you're like master level. Get to like 10,000, you're Buddha, bro. You're like Jesus walking on water. Like every single girl is attracted to you. And when you talk to them, it's immediate. Like you walk up and you're like, hey, what's up? And they're like, wow, wow. They got a girl boner, right? Their clitoris fills with blood and she's got an angry inch for a boner. That's how attractive you are. So again, the simple purpose of this episode is to tell you, you need to put yourself in a situation where you're continuously talking to girls. Now, you can do that by approaching and ejecting, which I've spoken about many times on this podcast, but more specifically, I teach it to a deep level in my program and we actually implement it. But what's also good is putting yourself in a situation with your work, if you can, where you have to interact with people. And it doesn't always need to be hot girls. You could be, let's say, just an example for a newbie, a waiter for a year at a busy restaurant where, yes, some hot chicks come in. And you can approach, you can talk to them, you have a reason to do it, and you're getting the stank off of you because you're simply getting into interactions. The hardest thing to teach as a dating coach is social intelligence, is how to be comfortable in set. Okay, NLP is, in my opinion, the most massive shortcut that you can possibly take, or I should more accurately say brain hack, to give you that confidence without actually doing it. But beyond that, bro, there's really nothing. You have to just go out and do it. Now, when you pair the two, along with all the techniques that I teach and a fucking community of brothers who are pushing you because they're doing the same thing, and you guys are all holding each other accountable, that's where the magic happens. And over 3 months, my dudes do 250 girls. All of them do this. Okay, they're doing the NLP, they're learning the tactics, and then they start getting successes. Like they start getting successes within the first 10 chicks because most guys haven't even opened 10 chicks. And they realize that it's an illusion that this girl's gonna blow you out so hard your pants will fly off when the concussion hits. She's gonna blow you out so hard, you're gonna come uncontrollably and then spend the next 2 weeks crying on the corner of your bed in the cannonball position. That isn't how it works. Fear is false evidence appearing real. So many of you guys talk yourselves out of approaching a girl because, oh my God, what if she rejects me? What if she does? The fuck does her opinion mean? You're a goddamn champion, bro, and be proud of yourself for approaching that girl. Don't base your feelings of self-worth on the result. Base your feelings of self-worth on the effort you going to approach her. So you have the trifecta, right? The NLP, the approaching girls, the skills of what to talk about. That's where the magic happens. But for some of you guys who are really bad with people, really bad with girls, bro, you need to get, even for some of you, into thousands of interactions. And for my hardest cases, I suggest they get a job where they can get into thousands of interactions. Some of the best jobs are bouncer at a nightclub. I cannot suggest that enough. In fact, I should do an episode about how I was a bouncer. It's been a while since I've done one. It was just retarded how many girls I pulled out of there. And like, I literally got into probably tens of thousands of interactions, not counting the tens of thousands of cold approaches that I did before that and during that just on my own. That's why I'm so ridiculously comfortable with hot girls, because it's like, I've been doing it forever, bro. Are you afraid of breathing? Are you afraid of going to sleep tonight? No, because you've been doing it since you were born. You're used to that shit. So for the hard cases, they need interaction after interaction after interaction. So that disgusting BO funk of beta-ness that they have coming out of their armpits, which girls can detect just by looking at them, goes away. And this is why I said at the top of the show, most of you guys don't do this. You have a lot of information, but you know, man, and I'm talking to you, bro, implementation is lacking. Here's what you think. You think if I just learn one more thing, if I just listen to Mark one more time, then I'll be ready. Then he'll motivate me enough to go approach. Dude, you don't need my motivation. What you need to do is just get out there and start talking to people. And even if it's not a girl, go talk to an old man, go talk to a bum, go talk to anybody. You just need to get into interactions. Yeah, Mark, but I'm an introvert and I just don't naturally do that. And I don't have the social situation to do it. Sack the fuck up and go do it, bro. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Then I know you can speak English and you could go do it too. So don't build it up in your head where it becomes wrapped with fear, false evidence appearing real. People are cool when you're cool to them. The last 200 and some odd chicks I've opened have been so fucking cool, right? They've been so loving and open and willing to talk to me. And for a lot of you guys, you fear that they're going to reject you so hard. It's just going to decimate your trembling embryo of confidence that's barely holding on as it is. It's like barely holding on by the skin of its teeth, but they won't. And if you need something to ease you into it, like an old grandma into a warm hot tub, just go up and ask a quick question. What time is it? Where's the freeway? Where'd you get that Starbucks? Hey, I think your purse is really cool. Nice sunglasses. Just say something. It's not a big deal. And then you realize it's not a big deal. And then you could do rep after rep after rep. And like I said, you hard cases, I really suggest a job. Like I was talking about, bouncer, bartender, yoga studio, tanning salon, or even a waiter or working with the public. Dude, go get a job at Hobby Lobby. Oh my God, I want to work at the Hobby Lobby. There's so many hot girls, and there are. It's all chicks in there. You ever go in there, bro? I know you love those arts and crafts, dog. I know you're making that flower arrangement to hang over your bed. Dude, don't lie to me. You went in there. And yeah, there's a lot of old ladies, but there's a couple hot girls in there every time I go in. So look, if I'm totally clueless with women and I need implementation, maybe I'll go work at the Hobby Lobby. I have no idea why I'm doing an Indian accent. And by the way, I'm not racist, but dude, I'm really good at accents. I did one about my Southern client, Mark. Why wasn't that racist? Right? Let's everybody relax, dude. I'm not being racist. I'm just doing a funny accent. Would it make you feel better if I did a Mexican one? What's up, essay? My essay wrote this essay about my essay. There you go, dude. Relax. Don't take it so seriously. Jesus Christ, people are so sensitive these days. Trigger words. Should do an episode about trigger words and how it's for pussies. Because it is, man. If anybody says something that offends you, it's your fault, dude. You're weak. You're weak to get offended by words. Literally sticks and stones, right? Come on, dude. Sack the fuck up. Be a man. And also be a fucking man and go approach chicks. You can do it, bro, Jay Simpson. I have every belief in you, bro, Tato Salad. I know you could do this, so just go open and eject. And you need hundreds, some of you thousands, the super duper ridiculously hard cases who may be socially inept to the point where they just turn people off simply by standing there. You probably need tens of thousands. Think about how you can put yourself in that situation where you can get all those interactions over with in the quickest, easiest way possible so that you become attractive to women and you can get those girls who you really want to get. Because I guarantee you, any guy can do it. It's just every guy has a different point of arrival based on his own goals. And that's what I offer in my free one-on-one breakthrough session. I'm going to talk with you. We're going to talk about your issues. I'm going to tell you straight up, man, this is what I think you're doing wrong. This is what I think is preventing you from getting success. Here's the issues that I'm seeing in you. And these are the steps you need to take to get you there. And I'll tell you, I will only take you if I'm 100% sure I can help you. So get on the phone with me and find out if you're interested in joining my 3-month coaching program, which, yes, in my opinion, has the magic trifecta of NLP, teaching the skill set, and implementation to get those 250 interactions under your belt in 3 months. Just watch what happens. This is why I'm so damn successful, is because we actually do something. I'm not selling you an ebook about working out and saying, okay, you have the information now. You should probably go to the gym too and practice that stuff. No, I'm like, yo, motherfucker, you're in this program, you're doing the work. And I'm watching you like a hawk, as are the other dudes in the community. And they're doing it too, so you're not alone. We're fighting shoulder to shoulder in the trenches, and we have each other's backs, just like a brotherhood should be. Gentlemen, I do appreciate you listening. I drop podcasts on Mondays and Thursdays. If you'd like to meet with me once again, click the link in the description below or go to my website, CoachMarkSing.com. Read the 65,433 million testimonials I have on my sales page, which attest that the magic trifecta, I just thought of that, magic trifecta actually works. And you could be like my client, Mark, and be like, man, I opened that bus station skank and she jumped right in the air and slayed onto my dick. Hee-haw, boys! Gentlemen, I do appreciate you, and I will see you in the next episode.